As we said earlier in the program, we have two very special guests, Mary Dunneman and Bob Stewart. And we're going to be sharing with them today. Ruth, it's always good to have two guests.
Yes,
Yes,
I love
it
it
is.
when we have two.
Mary, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I am married, wife, mother of 8, grandmother of 12, and I have a pretty busy life.
Well, I was going to say, 8 and 12, that's a busy, busy life.
Yes.
Well, we're delighted to have you here.
Thank you.
Bob, tell us something about yourself.
Bob Stewart. I'm married. My wife and I have 5 children, and we have grandchildren. And I have been in a family business in Albuquerque, French mortuary, French funerals and cremations. Grandfather started the business 106 years ago.
Wow.
We're still a family business, and that's been my calling, my profession for the last 45 years.
Wow. You know, I was telling you
service.
earlier that yesterday I celebrated 43 years here in Albuquerque. Boy,
Yes.
it's amazing. And you know, it's amazing how you change over 43 years. You stand in the mirror and you look at that mirror and you say, how did I get here so fast? Well, we're not here to interview me, but Bob, why don't you tell us a little bit about French and French's services? You know, you've been here, goodness, longer than I have. Tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Well, we provide, of course, our funeral service in this community and to our state. Through our funeral homes here in town. We have a cemetery, we have a crematory, and we look at our work as a profession, as a very delicate work as you deal with people who've lost their loved ones. And it's given us an opportunity and privilege of really, we call it ministry, of really serving and reaching families. And I've been involved almost 45 years now with French. And our grandfather started the business, and we plan to keep it a family business for years to come.
Bob, I've dealt with your company, of course, as a pastor for many, many years. And I just want to compliment you here. You do this as a ministry. And there is a compassion at French's that I have always appreciated as a pastor, how you reach out and touch people and minister to them and witness to them about God's love and God's comfort. Now, you mentioned you have a crematorium and a cemetery. Tell us about those.
In 1930, my grandfather found 60 acres of land at Manal and Edith. There was nothing out there except Manal School was located there
Right
at that
across
time.
the street.
And he developed what was called a memorial park. All the monuments are flat. It's not like the old cemeteries with the large standing monuments. And we have had that cemetery as an endowed care, perpetual care cemetery. We call it the most beautiful 40 acres in New Mexico, but we're a little biased about that. And we have the crematory we built there, where families who wish for cremation, we have that facility. We provide, for those who want cremation, memorialization, we provide over 25 different choices of how they can remember, memorialize their loved one, whether in a grave or whether in a mausoleum or whether in an urn garden, we call it. And so we provide those services, as we do to families who want burial in our cemetery, or if they want mausoleum above ground entombment, we provide those facilities as well.
So it's a full service center.
Yes. Now, Mary, how did you become involved with French's?
Well, a member of our family, extended family, had a loss before birth, and they were having financial difficulties. So I called around, and French's provided a free service, a free plot for the baby, and so that's how I got involved.
Wonderful.
You have a meditation area for early pregnancy losses, is that right?
Yes, we do.
Tell me about that. This is the first time I've heard about it.
Yes. Well, our desire is to reach out even more to families who've lost an infant who've lost a baby in early or late pregnancy, or even shortly after birth. And so this little area, we have an area we call it's for the burial of babies, and we call it the Angel Garden.
Yes.
And in that area, we have a monument, a marble monument, with a picture of an angel. And it's interesting, on that spot we have an engraving, and it's where this meditation area is. A mother, a family can come, they can spend time there remembering the child that they lost. They can, there's a little memorial box where they can place a prayer, whatever. And the inscription on that monument says, "See, I am sending an angel ahead of you to guard you along the way, to bring you to a place I have prepared." This comes out of the Exodus, God speaking to his people that he has prepared a place. There is hope when there's a loss. There's hope for us.
Mary, kind of describe to us some of the feelings and some of the comfort that you received there after you contacted French.
Well, it was just so overwhelming because the loss was so much need. I'm sorry.
So great.
So great. There you go, and to find somebody that was willing to just go out and be compassionate and offer all their services for free, it was overwhelming, and so we just felt so blessed by their services. And so later on, when I was sharing this information with other people, then they would start telling me, "Oh, you know, I didn't have that opportunity when my baby died." And so we called them, and then they just started the ball rolling about getting some services for us and all these other things that they're doing. It's
That's
just
wonderful.
it's a great blessing for us.
I'm sure you felt a real compassion there too.
Yes, very much so.
That again, and coming back to what I said earlier, Bob, the compassion that is there from your company is amazing.
Thank you.
Now, what is this
Remembrance Service.
remembrance
We have a
service? Yeah.
Remembrance Service planned in
Yes.
October.
We are facilitating a community-wide remembrance. We're calling it a Remembrance Service.
Now, is
And,
this for the
it's-
babies or?
Yes, it's in support of pregnancy and infant loss for mothers, for families. And we've said we want to join our hearts together with mothers, with families who've experienced the loss in death of a precious child, and the death was in the womb. And so it's just a new area of reaching out.
It is.
Part of it has come from the desire we have in our heart to reach out to those who've experienced this kind of loss. And not too many months ago, Mary called me and she started talking to me about this very thing. Something, the seed was planted in my heart and of course in hers, because she's part of a support group that reaches out to, they come together, mothers talk about their loss of an infant, of a child. And so this community-side wide service will take place on October 19th.
And where will that be?
And that'll be at the French Chapel on Lomas. It's 10500 Lomas, Northeast. It's just east of Eubank, where we're located, and we'll have this remembrance service in our chapel.
Now, is anyone welcome to come, even though they
Yes.
didn't use your services?
They are welcome. We are encouraging people to come. We ask that if they do so, that they would let us know ahead of time. And so we have a person who's really in charge of all of what we're doing, Linda Phelps. She's on our staff. She's a psychologist. She's a trained counselor. And her number is 842-7166, 842-7166. Or people can call any one of the French Chapel's locations
information.
and let us know that they're coming.
Now, is that number 843-6333?
That's our main number, yes,
Okay.
843-6333.
We'll get that up on the screen
Okay.
also.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Well, that is wonderful. I'd never heard of that, so I'm glad you came
It's very
here on
beautiful.
Spectrum to share with us today,
Yeah.
and let us be able to just share with others. You know,
Talk
you
about
may
it.
have lost a child, and maybe you didn't have a remembrance service. A lot of times sometimes they don't.
Right.
But here is a way for you to celebrate that child and go to the French mortuary. Give us the address again on Lomas.
Okay, 10500
Okay.
Lomas Boulevard, northeast, just east of Eubank.
And that is when now again?
That's on the 19th of October at 1 o'clock in our chapel there at that location.
Thank you so much, Mary and Bob, for coming today and
You're welcome.
sharing with us. And we just wish you the very best. And thank you for your ministry to hurting people.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you
so
for
much.
having
We're
us.
delighted to be here. Delighted to be here.